Hi, pals. Today I'm going to share with you the story of the adventure comedy film directed by Brad Silberling titled The Lost World. There is a TV show in the studio. Today we have Dr. Rick Marshall as a guest who will present his new book. His theory of quantum paleontology promises to solve all problems with biofuel because it will allow it to be replenished through temporal funnels. He spent a total of 5 years and $50 million on creating a time machine, which is currently located in his garage. Host Matt Lauer is outraged. Now times are already difficult, and he spends money on some crazy idea. Upon hearing criticism, Rick halts the interview. After a span of 3 years, Dr. Rick Marshall discusses his finding of tachyon particles, which possess such incredible speed that they can travel in reverse through time. He invented a device, a tachyon amplifier, which allows you to move not only forward or backward, but also in lateral branches, and in other dimensions where the past, present, and future meet. Holly Kentrell, who is present at the lecture, wonders why his tachyon amplifier has not been built. She is impressed with his works. He must finish the device. The doctor interrupts the girl. Because of this device, he became a laughingstock of official science. But if his theory is such nonsense, how will he explain his finding? She found this stone about 265 million years old in the desert, and it had a lighter imprint on it, and the crystals nearby emitted tachyon energy. The triumphant girl is leaving. The doctor takes a stone in his hands and realizes that the imprint on the stone was left by his own lighter. But how is it possible? The following day, Holly discovers the doctor lying on the floor. He explains that he has a full coma due to overeating, and then the girl discovers the collected tachyon amplifier. He did it. Holly presses the button and cheerful music starts playing from the device. Melody. She's puzzled. Is this a musical card ballet? Rick explains that he accidentally saved himself on the hard drive. And yes, he loves musicals. Holly takes matters into her own hands. They are going for a test immediately. Despite the man's objections, she takes him to the amusement park Devil's Canyon, where she found that stone with the imprints. In the park store, greeted by owner Will Stanton, ready to sell everything they want. However, their sole desire is to enter the cave. The boat then proceeds to enter the attraction. Rika device detects tachyon burst, and it can be strengthened. He turns on the amplifier at full power. In the cave, the music of the card ballet is heard. Suddenly everything starts shaking, like during an earthquake. Another push throws the device overboard, and the second one starts rushing forward at a tremendous speed, dragging the boat along. There's a waterfall roar, with no source in a soap factory drain. The boat's flying down. Rick regains consciousness as he realizes the situation he's in. On a sand dune, and Holly sees a door without walls in the middle of the desert, and, passing through it, stops in front of an ancient Viking ship, in the deck of which a light aircraft of the beginning of the century crashed. As Rick predicted, they broke through a temporal portal into another dimension, where all times are mixed up, but his tachyon amplifier disappeared, the only means to open the portal back home. At that point in time, they observe hairy primates, 2 of which are attempting to murder the third. Will lunges forward, attempting to frighten them with a lighter, but accidentally drops it. And the ancient people seize her and begin running. Rick indicates that Will portrayed the character of Prometheus. The girl is attempting to make contact, and she achieves success. Truth, it seems that Chuck prefers something else. Now Rick is trying to look at the injured person's ankle. But he starts running, the doctor rushes after him, and they all successfully fall through the sand cushion into the cave. Holly explains to Chuck, Rick is their large boss. At that particular moment, vines grab them and hang them in the middle of the cave. From above, the doctor sees a pile of bones and realizes they are right in someone's feeding trough. Individuals grasp hands and begin swinging, yet they are unable to reach the tree due to the presence of the canteen owner, who happens to be a dinosaur. He cuts the lianas. People are running. The quartet is rushing through the relic forest, but finds time to take a photo of Will against the backdrop of a chasing dinosaur. Individuals succeed in crossing the chasm. The disillusioned dinosaur turns around and departs due to the doctor's derogatory comments regarding the cognitive capabilities of tyrannosaurs, whose brain is comparable in size to a walnut. But he turns out to be not such a weakling and, running up, easily jumps over the abyss. The chase continues until people jump into a cave where the dinosaur simply cannot crawl. The angry beast is leaving. Holly suggests calling him Grumbler. People enter and see the remains of people in military uniform and a gramophone that started playing. El Chaka, Later the primate explains, he is the prince of his tribe, and they tried to deprive him of the throne. Currently, Will advises blocking entrance with boxes. The doctor begins arguing. They've already sparked dinosaurs' interest. Truth, his brain is the size of a walnut. Here comes laughter, and the people who ran to the entrance see a walnut no less than a meter in diameter, and a Tyrannosaurus mouth grins from the darkness. In the morning, people come out of the cave to the noise. Holly notices a flash of light, and Rick receives a mental request for help from an unknown creature. They rush to the call and find a transparent pyramid, touching which they feel a discharge and start singing with altered voices. Chucky doesn't like this place, but they don't understand it until they see strange lizard-like creatures that take them into a ring. Holly pulls out the belt and wraps it around her hand, but Rick directs the bunny from the buckle to the transparent pyramid. She opens up, and people rush inside, where their pursuers have been ordered to follow. Turning around, they see a creature that called Rico. This is Enoch. He is a prisoner in this lost world, and he needs the help of a doctor to tame the conqueror of Zarna, who has already enslaved many worlds, and now intends to enter the world of humans. You are unable to allow this, and for this, his tachyon amplifier is required. Rick indicates that he has misplaced it. Enoch is looking for him using crystals. He feels that the device is moving. Rick promises to find him. Will hampers his friend. He distrusts the creature in the tunic. Enoch cannot escape from the obelisk. Therefore, people must find the amplifier before Zarna, bring it here and save the universe. Chaka leads people to a kind of dump where items from different worlds are collected. And here, from the sky, an ice cream pavilion with a cellar falls. But the dinosaurs instantly scatter all edible things, including the cellar. The last two big tyrannosaurs are approaching. Rick calms down. They'll fight each other. They don't care about people. But the dinosaurs are a real threat. So they do not think and strive for people. Rick manages to hide among the mannequins, and then Holly sees how the dinosaur tears the body apart. She's horrified, but then she sees Rick running. The dinosaur ate the doll. In the garbage dump, Marshall finds liquid nitrogen and asks his friends to set up a catapult. The dinosaur is running on its heels. A balloon is flying into its mouth. Instantly frozen carcass falls to the ground and explodes. The purpose of the cord ballet is spreading across the dump. The amp falls due to the dinosaur's insides. Ecstatic Rick swiftly runs towards the device, but he is overtaken by a pterodactyl. Marshall reluctantly surrenders. He intends to simply wait for the end. Holly is outraged. She believed in him so much. She was expelled from Cambridge for supporting his ideas. And now she is disappointed. Holly, Will, and Chuck leave and find a place to spend the night. Chaka mourns for the tribe. They are unemployed nomads. They live where there is food. Women are not beauties, but kind and talkative. He had a whole harem. And here from the darkness comes the sound of a banjo, and Rick appears. He apologizes and sings a song about their adventures. Friends are ready to forgive everything, just so he doesn't sing. But he was so engrossed that he didn't notice the bite of a giant mosquito, after which he falls asleep. In the AM, Rick will be everyone. Time to go. And here they climb the rocks. Having reached the crater, they find a whole incubator there. On the other side lies an amplifier from which music is heard. Rick makes his way between the embryos, but after he picked up the device, the music fades away, and pterodactyls start hatching. Rick has to sing to lull the chicks. Comrades immediately pick it up, and everything works out. Joyful friends discover the remnants of the hotel and dive into the well-preserved pool. Chaka produces fruit and serves the people with a celebratory beverage from his tribe. Holly cleans up and turns on the device, and immediately a transparent obelisk appears, where she enters. Men at this moment moves away from the repercussions of libation and observes a massive crab, which descends through the ground and promptly returns in a cooked form, which is highly appreciated by travelers. Holly is currently making her way inside the pyramid and sees dinosaur eggs. Taking one, she provokes the appearance of the hologram of Zarna, who warns about Ineka, who is ready to conquer the universe, and finds the remains of Zarna. She comprehends we need to caution Rick, but they will assault her. Men come to their senses and begin searching for Holly. Within the obelisk, they observe the process of lizards shedding their skin and putting it on themselves. Males go farther and observe a female in a wicker cage. Reptiles pass judgment on her for assisting Inokenti. Men are throwing off camouflage. They are told that it was Enoch who destroyed an entire civilization, for which he was sentenced to imprisonment and wearing a tunic. Marshall jumps on the square and starts knocking down enemies. At the last moment, they manage to jump out onto the ledge with Holly, and the girl, in a burst of emotions, kisses. The scientist discovered that Chaku's friends had sent him to Inokom, and he has already arrived at his destination. Thanks to the amplifier, he will be able to deploy his troops wherever he wants, in time and space, and he wants to start with the Earth. Enoch departs, and in front of Rick materializes his longtime adversary, the Tyrannosaurus Varchan. Will admits that he has been carrying fireworks all this time. Rick lit one, but unfortunately it turned out to be of poor quality. Feeling disappointed, the Marshal hurls his lighter, and the dinosaur's paw impresses it into the stone. The Doctor seizes a pole, rushes towards the dinosaur, and leaps straight into its menacing mouth. Holly expresses all her indignation to the dinosaur. Rick was her future, but the creature simply departs. The reptilian army is ready to attack, but enraged Holly rushes into battle. She got tired of all this. Will and Chuck help as they can, and suddenly a dinosaur appears, on top of which sits Rick. Obeying the commands of a human, the Tyrannosaurus begins. Crush the reptiles. Pals are confused, Rick explains. Roaming in the dino's guts, he appears to have eased his problems, and the dino is thankful to him. They say goodbye to Vorchan and dive into the passage of the obelisk. Rick tells Innocenti that he lost, but he laughs at the man. The fight begins. One of the crystals falls and breaks. Enoch is horrified. The passage is closing forever. Rick takes the pendant off Holly's neck and inserts it into a row of crystals. The passage opens, but Enoch manages to grab Will. However, he suddenly declares that he does not want to return. It's not bad here. Who was he in his world? And here they will become leaders with Chaka. Rick and Holly enter the portal and discover themselves in their own world. Chaka takes Will to his tribe with numerous beautiful women. Girls from the tribe run towards him, and seeing them, the man cheers up. These are not beauties, and they touch the man with delight. In the TV studio. Rick Marshall again. He released a new book about time funnels, which has been on the bestseller lists for 16 weeks. And it's called Matt Lauer. You are a fool. The enraged host starts a fight. A movie for an evening rest, when you just need to give your mind a break. Unpretentious American humor and good pictures will help you temporarily forget about problems and spend the evening in a positive way. Friends, thank you for watching. Write in the comments what you think about this movie. And please don't forget to support us with likes and subscriptions.